second speaker tonight is Darina Crean with a speech titled Three Little Words. Three Little Words, Darina Crean.
Thank you, Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. Three little words. Now, what are you thinking? Again, I need to pick on someone in the audience. There's no chocolate this time and no lumble dogs. Larry Power, would you mind telling me, when I say three little words, what do you think?
Three little words. I remind of nursery rhymes, so we say that. I mean, like the three blind mice, three little pigs, the Goldilocks and three bears. I mean, three, so many things on the tree because it's such a powerful phrase to use that people remember things in the tree. So I'll go back to my childhood. Anyway.
Thank you, Larry. That's wonderful. I'm going to hold that thought for a minute. I'm really interested in how men's brains work. Now, it's because I was talking to my younger brother, and in fact, when I asked him, what about three little words, what did he think? He said, a shower, a shave, and a I can't say that word in Toastmasters, I'm sorry. But that's not what I was thinking either. In fact, what I was thinking were three fundamental words. Three little words, but really important words. Please, thanks, and sorry. And we learn these words as little people, but then something happens when we become big people, and we seem to forget our manners. Have you heard about the three little boys? Their names are Manners, Trouble, and Shut Up. So they went to the park to play, and after a while, Trouble got lost. So Shut Up said to Manners, you stay here, I'm going to the guards. When he walked into the guard station, the guard said, what's your name? Shut up. And in a louder voice he said, what's your name? Shut up. Where did you leave your manners? In the park. Are you looking for trouble? Yes. The innocence of children. And just to tell you another little story about the innocence of children, my two little nephews, when they were aged 4 and 3. And they were playing together quite happily, when the 4-year-old suddenly went over to his mommy quite upset. Killian has just pulled the toy car from my hand. So mommy thought, this is a good opportunity for me to teach my little boys some manners. And what does the Irish mommy always say? She says, manners never runs out of style. So mommy said, Killian, now you have to apologise to your big brother. So this blonde-haired, blue-eyed cherub stood there and said, I'm sorry for taking your toy car. And I had to nudge him. I'll never do it again, and I mean it. Now, I was sitting in the corner observing all this, and I had to put my hands over my mouth because I was just giggling to myself. This beautiful 3-year-old child had just, in his sing-songy, rhythmical voice, made an apology, but it sounded so insincere. But hang on a second, I have to give the little 3-year-old a bit of benefit. He did great. That's how children learn. They learn by repetition. And he was just saying what he'd been told. So he did quite well. Now we know what happens when they're this size. What happens when they become this size? People forget manners, don't they? It happened to me about 2 weeks ago at home with my partner. He doesn't mind me saying this. We were getting ready to go out for dinner on a Friday night. I was getting the glad rags together, he was getting his glad rags together. Now I have to tell you, there's a bit of competition between the two of us with the fashion stakes. So suddenly, he puts out his hand. If you'd only ironed my shirt, I could have worn this tonight. And I just started laughing, it was so funny. And I just laughed and I laughed, and then he started laughing. I mean, come on, he realised he hadn't had any graciousness about him. He hadn't said, please, thank you, will it suit you? And on the other hand, ironing isn't my hobby. But I blame one person in all this, and that's the Irish mommy. Was she there to remind him about his manners? No. Was she there to do his ironing? No. And then I thought, well, what happens on a day a few years ago in my life when I had a day from hell? And it was ridiculous. I just believed that all manners had completely evaporated from this world. I was there driving on my way to work in quite heavy traffic, and I thought I'd be courteous to my fellow road users. And I saw a guy was trying to get out into the line of traffic, so I flashed him. And now, come on, I know what you're all thinking, I didn't flash him. I'm not like that, I just flashed my lights at him. So I got into work, and I opened the door, and I saw a customer. She was walking out, so I held the door for her. And what did she do? She just sailed through the door, waltzed past me, not even acknowledging that I'd opened the door for her, thinking I should have been there. Anyway, my brother gave me some advice, and he said, next time that happens, hold the door and call after them, "You're welcome, Your Royal Highness." I'll remember then. So anyway, I was working in a grocery shop, so I got behind the till, and I was helping customers, and they were having 20 silk cup purple and 10 silk cup blue, and I scanned the items and I took the money and gave them their change. Cheers! Cheers. Is it Saturday night? Are we going for a drink? I asked them out on a date. Hang on, do I know you? No. Simply, they've forgotten their please and thank yous. So let me wrap it up now this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to remind you about these three fundamental words. The three words that have power and meaning to them. Like the three little pigs, we all remember that story. The power of three is so important. So please remember what your mommy taught you about manners. Thank you for listening to me this evening. And I'm sorry if I've offended anyone, but just stuff it up your jumpers. Now I'll leave the final words with Dylan Thomas. He said, "And now, gentle people, like all good manners, I leave you." Stephen, can I have 1 minute, please?